Hey, what's going on? I just wanna talk about something that I heard Joe Biden say at the during the presidential debate. Um, I was kind of late watching it, but I watched it and I heard Biden say that the people in the military don't support Trump, and that something along the lines of people in the military not being happy with Trump's run. And I never heard anybody in the military say that, except for a few people. But for the most part, the vast majority of people I know in the military were happy with Trump's presidency. And if you're in the military, uh, feel free to share your thoughts. But most people that I know were very happy with Trump's run. And most people in the military they typically are conservative. It's a conservative oriented branch, despite the propaganda that they push out there when they're trying to recruit. They're trying to recruit the other side just for numbers, but the people in the military have traditionally been conservative. And I've been in the military for 7 years. Space Force. I've been in the Space Force for about 3 years, no, 4 years, and I was in the Air Force for 3 years. So, and I joined back in 2017, and so I've been around long enough to know what the sentiment is of people in the military. My circle, my sample size of people, and Trump did some pretty historic things for the military. One of them was making it to where we can get our 20-year pension without achieving as much rank. So back in the day, it used to have to be what's called an E6. So those of you who are not in the military, we have an enlisted tier and we have an officer tier of ranks. I'm in the enlisted tier, and back in the day, before Trump, you had to be E6, which usually takes 6 or so years for people to achieve that. I mean, you can achieve it in 5 if you really grinding, but typically people don't achieve E6 until about 6 or 7, 8 years, sometimes even 9 years into the military. And you had to achieve E6 to get the 20-year pension. And if you didn't achieve E6 by, I think, about 18 years, 17 years in, 16 years in, you just get kicked out. Like, they would just kick you out of the military, saying that you're just not progressing enough and you're obviously not grinding, so you might as well just get out. And I do kind of agree with that, but I like that what Trump did. He made it to where you can be E5 and retire at 20 years and get your 20-year pension that'll last you, of course, the rest of your life, which most people, they don't even have an opportunity to earn a pension, because they just almost don't exist anymore in the civilian world. And what Trump did by lowering the rank requirement for the 20-year pension, he increased the job security for a lot of people, because like I said earlier, if you don't achieve E6 by, I think it was year 16 or 17 or something like that, then you would literally lose your job. You would be kicked out. And when he made it to where E5 is the minimum that you need to stay in the military, he allowed way more people to keep their jobs, and keep their benefits and all that. To me, that's huge. And what is the pension worth? Like, you might be wondering, like, how much money is it that we get for our pensions? Well, you get 50% of your base pay once you retire, or 40%, depending on the type of retirement plan that you're in. Because we got two different type of retirement plans in the military. We got the BRS, the blended retirement system, and we have high 3. Most people who are, I would say, if you're an E4 right now, then you are in the high 3 for sure. In order to get the high 3, is worth 50% of your base pay. Me, I'm in the blended retirement system, and that is 40% of my base pay. And I think that's about, I haven't done the calculations in a minute, but I know it's at least $1,700 a month at least. It might be, but it's at least $1,700 a month, and it's no higher than $2,000 a month that I would get after I retire every month until I die. And that's huge, man. That's a big pay bump that you can take with you to your next job, and to be able to qualify for that practically no matter what. Everybody can get E5 by the time they're 20 years. Like, it just won't happen. Nobody is not going to achieve that. Like, you'd have to suck so bad that you wouldn't even make it 20 years. It's just unheard of. But anyway, Trump made that happen, man, and that was a big deal. It definitely made me want to stay in the military longer, for sure. Another thing that I gotta applaud Trump for doing back when he was in office was, if my memory serves me right, there were no significant budget cuts for the Department of Defense for us military people. Now, we did have like a government shutdown or whatever, but it was, we were virtually unaffected by that. The military just has awesome job security. I still got paid during the government shutdowns, but the civilians that work for the government didn't. But anyway, another thing that Trump did that I supported, he cut out the possibility for people to join the military just to get a sex change. Like, while sex change operations are super expensive, hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm sure, for a full-blown sex change. People were trying to join the military just for that. Trump cut that out. People talk about how much they hate paying taxes and how much tax dollars get wasted. That's a huge way to waste tax dollars, is the way I see it, because it's not a life-threatening operation, and it's a cosmetic operation for the most part. The way I see it, you can compare an operation like that to someone wanting to join the military just to get taller. So I don't know if y'all heard about these heightening surgeries that exist now. So they got it to where you can get your legs broken. They put a rod in there, and you twist some mechanism in that rod that extends your legs, and the operation costs up to $150,000 if you get it done in the United States. Why would we want people joining the military en masse just to get those operations and then ultimately bounce? I mean, even if they don't bounce, even if they stick around, it's still a cosmetic surgery. One might be able to say something like, oh, well, being short makes me depressed and gives me anxiety, and if you just make my legs taller, I would be less depressed, and I would be so happy, and I wouldn't be anxious anymore. That's still something that should be more of an out-of-pocket thing. Go finance that with some bank and do it on your own. Why make everybody else in the country pay for that type of expense? Because it has nothing to do with your physical health. So that's just kind of how I feel about that, man. And Trump made it to where that's not a thing. Another thing that kind of sucks, man, about Biden's presidency is that we have gotten a huge military budget cut, and that military budget cut has been making it to where me, like personally, individually, can't travel as much to get some trainings done. Certain types of trainings, of course. People join the military to get trained. People join the military to learn a trade, learn a skill, and it costs money to teach us and train us on how to do those skills. And that's affected people, my coworkers, that's affected people in other squadrons. It's a big deal, man. And I know a lot of people complain about the military budget, but people don't realize how much the military operations have to do with normal people's daily lives, but that's a whole nother video. That'll be a great video to make, where I talk about what the military does directly affects you, man. So even when people think, oh, you're spending too much money on the military, you got to do your research on something like that before you really say that, because you don't want the military to go away, first and foremost, and you don't want the military to be cut in half. We already got enough issues, man. as far as the immigration crisis and stuff like that. Things that the military should be involved with. But I mean, that's also another topic for another day. Yeah, man, people in the military are largely conservative, and they supported Trump. So Biden has not been doing well in the eyes of people in the military. It's a fact. Him saying that people in the military support him, I have not heard that en masse or in any significant numbers at all. So anyway, man, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down right there. I just want to go ahead and make a video real quick addressing that lie that Biden said. But I mean, if you're in the military and you support Biden, let me know in the comment section. Go ahead and tell me, like, what is it that I'm missing that Biden did that's so great for the military, because I'm not seeing it. We got this war in Ukraine. People, we spending all this money on. It just don't make sense to me. But anyway, this is Military Reality TV, man, where I'm talking about all the everything military oriented, man. Especially when it comes to the drama in the military, and all the scandals that happen in the military. It's crazy. We should have our own reality TV show, because it's enough nonsense to go on that will be super entertaining to put on TV, man. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down there. Y'all have a good one. Peace.